Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson and this is the new Kia EV3, and today I'm going to find out if it's any good. But before we drive it, let's have a look at the front where we've got the big Kia badge. We've got these lovely daytime running lights and this sort of vertical tier of headlight cluster here. It looks really unique when you see it coming the other way at night. It's also got sort of a mustache going on down here. These are flaps and they open and close for aero reasons. There is actually a very small frunk/fruit in here. I don't think you'd actually fit the charging cables in there, but it's there if you want it. And then down at the side, we have these 19-inch alloy wheels. This is a top spec GT Line S model, so these are fancier than the lower spec models. We've also got your charging flap here on the front wing, and it's obviously got full CCS charging, and you can charge it up to 127.5 kilowatts, which is much better than the Nero EV, for example, which is only about 72. So a good improvement there for this model. Means you can charge it in about half an hour on a fast charger. That's basically all you need to know. Black mirror caps. We've got some roof rails. We've got the special door handles that pop out as well. On lower spec models, they don't pop out. You do have to press it with your finger to open it. And then these rear door handles are actually hidden here, so that's quite cool as well. And then at the back, the design is very squat and butch. We've got a quite long spoiler. This is for obviously aerodynamic reasons, but hidden up here is a rear wiper, so it keeps the rear design clean but also doesn't compromise on that practicality. We've got the Kia badge as well. This again sort of emulating the front with its mustache look. Got the EV3 badge, GT Line badge over here to denote the spec, and if I open up the boot, which is electronic, you will see eventually that it has 460 litres of boot space, and you can lower the floor as well. That's in its highest position, and then you can lower it down if you really want to. You've got a nice slidey parcel shelf. We've got cubbies down here. There's a couple of tethering points, but there's no hooks or anything in here to attach things to, so that is a little bit odd. You can obviously fold the seats down from here as well, and then there is more room. I don't have a figure, but it's cavernous and there is a completely flat floor, so if you want to slide items across, you absolutely can do. But I'll close that up and then I'll go and sit in the back seats and see how I fit. Okay, so here in the back, I'll first talk about the amount of room that I've got back here. So I am 6'2" or 188 centimeters tall, and this driver's seat is set up in my driving position. And as you can see, I can put my legs either side of the seat back here. I can't really put them directly behind, but there is enough room here for me to spread out. And if I sit up straight, my head does just about brush the roof line. But obviously, if I'm slouching a bit, there's no one in this middle seat, there's a lot more room. If you did have someone in the middle seat, it is very narrow, but on the plus side, the floor is completely flat, so you're not going to be fighting over foot room particularly. I've got here in this middle seat an armrest that folds down with 2 cup holders. You've got bottle holders as well in the door. You've got seat back aeroplane style pocket things here as well, which is good. You've got a bin here in the middle, a couple of air vents, but you don't have the ability to choose the temperature back here. You just have to rely on what's been set up front. You've got 2 USB-C ports on the back of the front seats. You've obviously got Isofix on your outer seats as well. And in this top spec car, I've got nice things like heated seats, 3 stages on both of these outer seats, so that's really nice. And then the materials back here are sort of a blend of recycled materials and premium soft touch plastic. So it is quite nice. It's obviously this two-tone as well is something that you get on the top spec models, but I'll hop up front now and see what's going on up there. Up here then, and it's very similar if you've been in one of the other EV models in the Kia range. So you've got this plinth of screens that is on top of the dashboard here. Directly in front of you is one for your driver's information, so your speed and all of that sort of stuff. You've got the ability to control the self-driving features, the adaptive cruise control, all of that sort of stuff on this side. And then on the other side, you can control the music, volume, skipping track, answering the phone, all of that sort of stuff. It is worth mentioning, if you haven't been in a EV product, that you have a twisty dial for going drive, reverse, park, and you actually have an on-off button as well, which not every EV has. So I actually quite like that, because I'm never quite convinced that the car's turned off when I've left it on my driveway. So that's good. Then in this middle bit of the screen, you've got some climate functions, so shortcut buttons for turning on the heated rear screen or the front screen blower, automatic controls. You can change the direction and stuff through that little middle screen if you want to, but you do have a couple of toggle switches here, so you can up the temperature or cool the temperature down, and you can use the mode button to decide where the airflow is going, the fan speed, and again passenger side temperature controls there as well. So you don't have to actually use the screen if you don't want to, which I really like. That is a good thing to have. Also, I like the volume rotary control here as well, so you don't have to go into the screen again or try and find a stupid volume haptic button thing here like you do in a VW. So that's good. Screen itself is really quick and easy to use. Obviously you can connect up your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you want to, and that's what you're going to be doing most of the time. And then down here we've got some charging ports, 2 USB-Cs. You've also got, if I push that open, a 12-volt socket. You've got a wireless charger down here as well that you can pop your phone onto. And speaking of charging, in the back under that middle seat you do have a household 3-pin plug slot as well, so that is very practical. We've got 2 cup holders here in this storage bin section down in the center, and you've also got bottle holders and proper door bins here as well. They're a decent size, can fit stuff in. Now this bin down here is useful because if I lift up the armrest, you'd usually find another bin here, but because of how this has all been designed, you don't have one of them. So this central bit is just a table thing that extends out, but it's actually quite handy if you want to rest your arm on something to use the screen. But on this plinth you've got things like the auto hold, shortcut buttons for the parking cameras, parking sensors, and actually a hill descent control button as well. So I'm not sure you're going to be doing much in the way of off-roading, but you can if you want to. You've also got a full-size glove box, again something that you don't get on other EVs necessarily. And then generally the materials in here, nice stuff on the doors. You've got this sort of recycled fabric again on the dashboard. You've got a huge light bar thing that goes across the whole dashboard, which is quite bright at night, and it just like lifts the cabin as well. Especially, you know, you've got these nice light two-tone seats as well, again just lifts the cabin. You've got the sunroof letting light in, you have a heads-up display, you've got actual shortcut buttons for turning on heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, 2-stage memory settings as well. So loads of practical features. In fact, I don't think I can think of a thing that this car is really missing in terms of what you would want on a daily basis. But let's go out and drive it and see what it's like. Right, okay then, so driving the EV3, and I guess I'll start by talking a little bit about the stats associated with this vehicle. I, as I said, have the top spec car, so this comes with an 81 kilowatt hour battery, which is massive, but it also means that you get a really big range. So This car is rated at 361 miles of range on the WLTP cycle. You can get a smaller 60 something kilowatt hour battery if you want to, and obviously the range is less on that. But the maximum amount of range that you can get on one of these is 373 miles, which is really, really good. However, there is a caveat in that, because that's what the WLTP range is rated at. Obviously, if you are driving in the real world, which I do most of the time, I'm also in the depths of winter in Britain, it doesn't do that. So when I've charged it up to 100%, it was getting an indicated range of about 285, 290 miles of range on the screen. I've been averaging somewhere between 3.1 and 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, so it's not doing the rated 4.4 that it says it can do to get that range of 360, 370 odd miles. But obviously the temperature makes a huge difference. I've been doing a lot of motorway miles. I've driven it about 400 miles on the motorway, and to be fair, if you just, going along with the adaptive cruise control on, which I was, it was, getting about 3.3 to 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour during that. So it's pretty good. It's just something to be aware of, is obviously that range is very dependent on external factors. But it is very easy to charge up, and it charges up relatively quickly, as I've said. So it doesn't concern me at all. And if you've got a driveway and a house charger at home, then this will absolutely work and fit in your life. In terms of other figures, we've got 201 horsepower, 283 newton meters of torque. Top speed is 105, that's basically irrelevant. And 0 to 60 is 7.9 seconds, which is plenty fast enough for something in this segment. Now, in terms of how it drives, it is very much like a scaled down EV9 or EV6. It's not the sportiest car in the world. You do sit quite high in the seating position, so it is more in line with a crossover than a hatchback. Even though the external dimensions are quite small, it feels really big in here, which is a great thing, because as I say, it's small, but you've got all of the camera systems that you may need to help you with that. I've just put the indicator on. I've got the blind spot cameras that come up on my screen as well, so it helps with changing lanes on a motorway. As I say, it's very difficult to come up with a real sort of criticism of how this car is laid out, because I think Hyundai and Kia are probably doing EVs the best right now in terms of their usable range. Their interiors are modern, but yet have those touches that you sort of want to make things easier. Things that should really have buttons. So it really is the sort of perfect small family vehicle, but it just happens to be electric. And that's a real sort of positive when we're talking about electric cars. If it's very difficult to come up with a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't get it, then it's easy to blame that on it. Oh, it's just an electric car, because that's lazy to say that sort of thing. But this is just a really good car. Brackets, it happens to be an EV, by the way. Anyway, that's probably enough of me nattering on. So I think what I'll do now is I'll head back and I shall do a conclusion. Okay then, so the EV3, and I'm delighted to say that it is just a scaled down EV9, EV6, so I really like it. They've really perfected shrinking that formula down It's really practical. I think it looks great, especially in this pistachio, avocado-y, greeny colour. And it does really good range, like really good range, and it seems to do what it says it will do. So if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the EV3. But most importantly, please do subscribe to the Buckle Up YouTube channel and ding the notification bell so you never miss one of our uploads. If you want to support what we do, you can become a channel member, you can buy some merch, which I am actually sporting today, and you can go and follow us in all of the social media places, all linked down in the description. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.